Yeah, Dave, I just want to know what your who would you look for as in freshmen on each side of the ball this year to maybe break out?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Spring practice coming up. That certainly be a topic. I've got to go. I got to go to the positions. It's. I don't want to take the easy way out and just look at the top of the, top of the rankings for the class. But I think you kind of have to, because at wide receiver you got Dallas Wilson, Vernell Brown, Naeshaun Montgomery, Tunkari coming in, because I think you need help at receiver. So I'm not going to be surprised if it's Vernell, not if it's Dallas Wilson, Naeshaun Montgomery. All those three guys rank pretty high at the spot, and I think there's plenty of position at receiver for a young guy to come in and make an impact. So I think if you look at receiver and you go to defensive back on defense, I think we know there's probably some room in that defensive backfield, especially with spring and as many injuries as Florida's fighting as they start spring practice that they have to overcome. So I think a guy like Ben Hanks at corner, he's going to get every opportunity this spring to shoot up that depth chart, because there's a lot of injuries at that cornerback spot. So he's going to get more reps. There's more opportunity for him. So I'm not looking at those guys because they were at the top of the class, but they're at the top of the class at positions that I do think Florida has some maneuverability with, where young guys really can come in and make an impact.
Okay, Dave, I wanted to, I looked at some of your videos, but I just want to get your personal opinion about the secondary coach. How you feeling about the room now with adding him and Sincere?
I mean, good thing. The good thing is a lot of people on the roster know him because he was here in 2022. So he quality control with the cornerbacks. So he knows a lot of the guys that were on the roster because he helped recruit. He helped sign if they signed with Florida. But somebody like Cormani McLean, he knows him, knows the name because he had been around. So that's good. There's some familiarity there. But at the same time, he went to Arkansas in year one and had I forget the guy's name off the top of my head, but produced an all-SEC freshman in his first year as cornerbacks coach at Arkansas. He got hurt at the beginning of last year. They had some transfers, so the pass defense overall at Arkansas kind of fell down a little bit. So I think there's some things to like, but you pair that with Bala and you pair that with Sincere, and there's just not a whole lot of P4, P5 experience with those three guys together. Now they all come from power programs now, the other two from Washington and Wilson from Arkansas. But beyond his past couple of years, they didn't have a lot of coaching experience at the top level. So, you do have the overseer and Ron Roberts, who brings a ton and a bunch of years of experience, and Chapman, who was at Florida last year. Wasn't a lot of experience in his game either, and Florida really got better as the season went on up front. So, but I guess my biggest worry would be pairing him with some other young coaches when it's all said and done. So doesn't mean it won't work or anything like that, but if I had a concern, that would be my concern.
Okay. All right. And my next one was, David, how big was it, just being able to have Ron Roberts back with having a young coach, like people say, that's the first thing they say about the young, how young they are. And I just feel like having like a veteran like Ron, like he pretty much can help with all that. You know what I'm saying?
The biggest thing is it's the first time Napier's had a returning defensive coordinator. That's the biggest thing.
Right, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah.
You're for it, right? It's the first time ever we had the same DC.
That's
crazy.
Yeah, from Tony to Armstrong, from Armstrong to Roberts, now Roberts to Roberts. So it's the first time, since Napier's been here that it's going to be the same head voice heading up that defense. So that should be a plus, given what we saw. This defense get better after that first bye week last year, figured some things out and really put together a, last month to remember those last 4 games. One of the best defenses in the country in that last 4-game stretch, getting after the quarterback, creating turnovers. But, there's another step. You got to get off to a better start this year. Can't have that slow start. And maybe even more so, while that defense was good and did a lot of good things, maybe even get past that bend don't break mentality. You'd like to have a dominant defense where you don't necessarily have to rely on that bend don't break. You don't have to rely on, all right, it's time to buckle down in the red zone. Because that can come if you're playing some better offenses. Don't get me wrong. LSU's offense was good. Ole Miss's offense was one of the best offenses out there, and they clamped down. But can you ask a bend don't break defense to do that game in, game out, week in, week out? It worked for a 4-game stretch. But FSU's offense, not much to write home about. A Tulane offense that was missing their quarterback, you did what you were supposed to do. Don't get me wrong. You get credit for that. But if you were playing LSU and Ole Miss and you played those 2 games 6 more times in the season to get 12 games, can you really ask your defense to be that successful in a bend don't break way? So I just like to see when you got some key pieces coming back up front. Your linebacker core really, really good. So you got a good front 7. Just this defense take another step where you don't have to be so bend don't break.
I totally agree with that, David. And I was just going to talk about that, but you already brought it up in your answer as well. Like, as far as that bend but don't break, I think that's the only thing that that just rubbed me wrong with this defense. I love it. I love this defense. I love how far they come, but it's just like when we in 3rd down and long, get off the field, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, just get off the field. Like, them converting 10+ yards, to get first down, that's just unacceptable, man. Like, unacceptable at all. Like, I think that's one thing that they got to clamp on this year, brother, is that bend but don't break. Like you said, they got to be stopped and stop it. Not giving them field. Then when they get to the red zone, then we clamp down. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, I say, like, that's probably the only thing about this defense, David, is I just want to see them get better in. Better at, because they
it was a smart play last year, because we all know you go back to Miami, you go back to Texas A&M, and it was big play after big play after big play. So you had to adjust in some way, some form, some fashion, and they said, all right, we'll play too high, and you just ain't gonna beat us deep. And the big plays really got limited after that. So it was just their style of play that really fit that defense. But you do hope that this defense can take a step where you can mix it up a bit more, and you don't have to play that bend don't break style so much. Yeah.
I definitely agree with that one. And far as the cornerback room, David, how you feeling about our front line? I know we got Devin Moore, but who and Dijon? Who is your next after those 2 right there, David?
A
little too early.
Probably. I would love to say Cormani.
Okay.
I would love. I don't know yet. I don't know if he's fully ready to I guess, quote unquote, cornerback 3. That is a good. I have thought about that. Now I'm not counting nickel. Sharif Denson, Aaron Gates.
Right.
Yeah. Grimsley. We got to see how he bounces back from his ACL revision. Teddy Foster in his 2nd year. I'll go back to. I was talking about it a while ago. I think corner is a spot a true freshman can really come in, and if he's ready, can make some plays. So, I'm not going to totally throw away Ben Hanks coming in and making an immediate impact.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay, man. See, and that's probably like the only place I say, David, I love the whole defense and the front line, but that secondary right there, that's what we really got to figure it out, David.
Oh yeah, got
to figure that out.
That is a spot. Devin Moore got to stay healthy.
And this is last year. So it's like, come on, bro. Like,
money year.